is Bilal Powell, and you're watching Dansportsnews.
No, Eric, and you're watching Dansportsnews.
Leverage, and you're watching Dansportsnews.
This is Javon Cornell, you're watching Dansportsnews.
What's up, everybody? It's Clee Walk. You're listening to the Dan Sports News Podcast.
This is Jaden Gould, and you're listening to the Dan Sports News and Friends podcast.
This is Maya Kino, and you're listening to the Dan Sports News and Friends podcast.
Has lots of good instructional videos on his YouTube channel, and you've been featured on some of those videos. So how is that?
Yeah, the instructional stuff, it's like the things that he's showing you guys is things that we work on every day. Like, it's not always the fancy work that I post or that he posts. A lot of our work is instructional and step-by-step and just perfecting things just so that we can get it down in a fight. A lot of the stuff he teaches on the YouTube is very useful. It's things that we work on every day, things that I do in sparring and I do in fights. And it's cool to be featured in the videos too, because like I like helping people out and showing people like different ways to do things. I think that's cool. And the YouTube I think is really great because you guys are able to learn so much from it without actually having to physically be there.
So you're still currently an amateur. How has COVID affected your amateur career, and when did fights stop?
They canceled boxing about the week. It was maybe the end of March, just because it's a contact sport and like we didn't really know much about the virus. But like now that things are getting more under control, they resumed the fights this month.
Okay, so you guys return this month? It's not December?
I'm gonna compete in December for nationals, but they all have local fights going on this month.
Okay, so have you had any fights so far since things have picked up and resumed?
Now, for me, just being like a female and a lighter weight class and highly ranked, around here it's kind of hard for me to get fights because girls see that and they're not like ready. Maybe they're not at that level yet, or they're like, there's just a lot of different factors. Girls won't, I don't really get fights around here. It's always usually nationals.
Currently, what's your record in the amateurs, and how many titles have you won?
My record, I'm not sure. I have about 50 fights, but I have won National Junior Olympics multiple times. I've won nationals, a lot of national titles, Golden Gloves, Women's Golden Gloves. It's like the same tournaments I won about like 5 or 6 times.
And you've been on Team USA?
I've been on Team USA since I was 15.
And how is that working with some of the other girls and being a part of Team USA?
I think it's amazing. Like when we're out and we're going to these camps and we're all working together, like it's cool like on the boxing aspect, but like even just making new friends and like really coming together as a team. Like it's a family at the end of the day. Like when we get there, we're all pushing each other as hard as we can, trying to win, trying to get to where we want to be, and then it's like after that we're all having fun. So like it's competitive and it's fun, but it's like a family. So I loved it. I love being on the team.
And what are some of the countries that you've been to a part of Team USA?
So I personally haven't been traveling with them. The traveling's been pretty much canceled for like a while because of COVID and everything. But this year, if I make the team, hopefully we'll be able to travel with everything.
So were you a part of the Olympic trials, or did you not make it?
I was a part of Olympic qualifiers, and then I switched my weight. I was at 106, so I wasn't on an Olympic weight class, but I was competing at trials just for the team instead of the Olympic team.
You're from Philadelphia. There's lots of big fighters from Philadelphia currently. So tell me about who were some of the boxers from Philadelphia that you really looked up to when you were younger.
Bernard Hopkins, a lot. I think everyone will probably say that. I just love his personality. I love the way he fights. He's such a positive person, and a hard worker. It's like a really good role model. We have a lot of fighters. There's a lot of good fighters from here. Tevin Farmer, he trains out here. He's really good. My coach works with him as well. He's one of his coaches. And even the amateurs that are up here too, they're really good.
Yeah, so was there any fighters who you watched growing up who were not from Philadelphia? Who were some other fighters, and who were some female fighters you like to watch?
Pro or amateur?
Both. It could be both.
Christina Cruz, she's from New York. I've literally loved her style since I was just started boxing. I saw her and I was like, oh my God, she's amazing. So I used to fangirl over her, and then I got to the point where I was sparring her, and now we're really close. So she's a good role model for me. I look up to her a lot, and I just love her style. Michaela Mayer is another one. She's really good. She's signed with Top Rank. Clarissa, obviously, she's amazing. There's so many girls that are like, I feel like now boxing for females is starting to come up a lot more than it was maybe like 2-3 years ago.
What do you think of the current state of women's boxing, the way it is now?
I think it's good. I think we have a lot of fights that are coming up. Katie Taylor, she's really good. I think her and Michaela are going to end up fighting soon. That's going to be a good fight. Whoever Clarissa fights, that's always a good fight. She always puts on a good show. I think right now they're doing well, and I think after this Olympic year, it's going to do even better because these girls are going to want to go pro.
Do you think that there should be 3-minute rounds instead of 2-minute rounds in women's boxing?
Yeah, so as an amateur, we compete at 3-minute rounds.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so I thought it was kind of weird how the pros compete at 2-minute rounds, but I would love to have, if I was a pro, I would personally would like the 3 minutes because it just gives you more time to work. I think any girl would probably say the same unless they're out of shape because the 3 minutes really does, like the extra minute does a huge difference.
Who would you say was the toughest opponent you went against in your amateur career so far?
Toughest opponent. I don't think I fought anyone that was necessarily like tough. I think it was me just being like, it's me. It's really just like a mental game. Because I know that I can, if I apply myself and I'm training and I'm in shape and I'm doing my part, I know that I can win. It's just like more myself, like nerves, doubts, things like that.
So have you sparred any pros so far?
Yes. I've sparred Katie Taylor. I've sparred Natalie Gonzalez from New Rochelle. I've sparred, off the top of my head, I can't remember, but I have sparred a lot of pros.
How was it sparring with Katie Taylor?
It was good. She's very fast. I didn't think she was going to be that fast. I was like, okay. But it made me, like, more up on my toes. She was just awesome to be around. Like, just being in the ring with her felt so cool. Like, I felt like I was at a higher level. She just brought a lot of cool vibes, cool energy, and so it was nice. It was cool.
Yeah, so did you get a chance to see her last fight, and what did you think of that if you saw it?
Her last fight, I don't think I saw her last fight, but I did see a couple highlights, and I heard that it was a close fight. A lot of people were kind of controversial about it, but I didn't get to see it myself.
Like we said, you're still amateur, but do you have any plans of turning pro, or do you just want to stay amateur your whole career?
No, I want to go pro. I want to go to the Olympics and then go pro and really just like I'm saying, like this, the women's boxing is really going to come up in the next 4 to 5 years, and I want to be part of that difference. I want to show them like it's worth watching, it's worth paying for. The girls work just as hard as the guys, if not harder, and I just want to make a big difference in the pro world and show them that we can really just do exactly what they're doing.
So are you shooting for the next year's Olympics or the 2024 Olympics?
2024 Olympics.
Okay. Who are some of the amateurs that you have sparred with?
Oh, I've sparred all of the top girls. Do you know Roxy, Right Hook Roxy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so me and her are really close. She's one of my best friends. We sparred. I sparred Christina Cruz. I sparred a lot of that. A lot of the top girls I've sparred for the amateurs at camps and different places.
Yeah, isn't Roxy like a 21-time national champion? How is it going against her in sparring?
She has a bigger weight class, so we're not like killing. Like she's not trying to kill me, but she gives me good work, and she's smart, and she has a lot of experience. So it's always good going with her, and like we're close, so we always want to help each other out and push ourselves to be like the best we can. So
did you get a chance to see the Sanisha Estrada fight where she had the 7-second knockout? What did you think of that?
Sanisha's great. I think the opponent maybe wasn't the same level as her, but I think she's a great fighter, and I think her fight with Marlon was amazing. That was a really good fight.
Is Sanisha somebody you would like to spar against?
Yeah, I would love to spar her. That'd be great.
And did you see the Michaela Mayer fight, which was a few months back? Did you see that one?
Yeah, I've seen all of Michaela's fights. I think she did amazing in her fight. Really, really good. Everything she did worked, and she just looked sharp, strong, in shape. She was confident. She looked really good.
And what did you think of Jessica McCaskill's win against Cecilia Breakhouse to give her her first loss?
I didn't actually see that fight.
Did you watch the highlights of it or no?
No, I didn't see anything.
Will you watch the rematch that they have?
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it.
So, being from Philadelphia, did you get a chance to see Jaron Boots Ennis fight last week.
Yeah, I've been around him since I was first started boxing, and he's always been someone that like he really knows how to get the crowd going. Like he's good, he's focused. His boxing ability is just he's really smart in the ring. It's cool to watch him. He's really cool to watch.
Yeah, I definitely think he's gonna win a world title down the line, maybe even next year probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And also Stephen Fulton Jr. He's also from Philadelphia. His fight a few months ago was canceled because he ended up getting COVID, but he's also from Philadelphia, and his next fight will be for a world title against Angelo Leo. What do you think of Stephen Fulton Jr.?
I think he's really good. Same thing. I think he's focused and disciplined. I think his boxing ability is great, and for him to be competing for a world title is amazing. Being from Philly, it's a really big step.
And of course, you can't count out Danny Garcia, who's probably the biggest Philadelphia fighter right now. He has a big fight coming up against Earl Spence. Have you ever met Danny Garcia, and what do you think of him?
Yeah, so I've met him multiple times. My grandpa, before he passed away, was friends with his dad, so I would see him around a lot. I think he's a great fighter. I think a lot of people have their opinions about him. At the end of the day, he was a world champion. He's a great fighter, and he's doing good things for himself. He's training, he's investing in other things, being smart with his money, and I think that's great. I think he's a good fighter, and I think if he works hard and he's disciplined, he has just a good chance to win as Errol Spence does.
Who do you think wins that fight?
That fight?
Yeah.
I have...
Yeah, even though it's his first fight back since the car accident.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was actually talking about that the other day. That could have a role in this, but I think Spence is really good. I love watching him fight. I love watching his videos. He's just someone that I study and I watch.
So did you get a chance to see the Charlos fight last night or see the highlights of it?
No, I didn't get to see.
Oh, okay. But some other upcoming fights, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. What do you think of that fight?
I think Tank is very good. I think he's strong. He's sharp. He's pretty fast. And I also think Leo's good too. So I think that's going to be a really good fight.
And Teofimo Lopez versus Lomachenko. That's also a fight that's coming up now, probably in a month. Actually, maybe 20 days. Who wins that fight?
I think Teofimo is good. But I think Teofimo also has a lot of tricks too. So I think it's going to be a good fight. I don't want to underestimate him because he's young, he's healthy, he's in shape, and he's a good fighter. But at the same time, Loma has all this experience, and he's been against the top guys. So, it's hard to say. I think it's going to be a good fight, and I hope it is a good fight because I think Teofimo is good, and I think he will put up a good fight. And he also does have these little tricks, if you ever watch his videos, he's funny, he's cool to watch, so we have to see.
And Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell, what do you think of that fight?
I think Ryan's going to do well. I think he's been, since he's been training with the Canelo team, he's been improving a lot in a lot of different aspects. He's doing really well, and I think he's going to do well when he fights.
What do you think of Mike Tyson and Roy Jones coming out of retirement to have an exhibition fight?
I loved that. I thought that was cool. I'm actually excited. I'm going to watch that. I think that's something cool. I think that's going to be fun to watch.
Who do you think is going to win that fight?
I don't know. I'm not going to say. I have to say.
Now, I saw a video where you were interviewing the cast of Creed 2. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I was featured in the movie Creed, and I had the opportunity to hang out with the cast, interview them, things like that, walk the red carpet, and I think it was an amazing experience. I had a lot of fun. Me and Michael B. Jordan became friends during that. Stephen Cable Jr., he's cool. He's the director. It was cool. It was a really cool experience. It was just they're cool to be around. It's just talking to you or talking to anyone else. They were just really down to earth and they just made everything so much more fun, and it was just a lot of jokes and it was cool. I had a lot of fun with it.
Is the Rocky series or Creed, are those the best boxing movies in your opinion? Would you say so?
Personally, I love the movie Southpaw. I watched it a couple times. I like that movie a lot. I also like the Creed movies too. I think I love a lot of boxing movies. I think are pretty cool. I like watching them. But the best series is probably going to be the Rocky series.
For sure, and it's based in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. Give me your top 5 pound for pound in men's.
My top 5, Canelo. I'm bad at this. Canelo's definitely up there. I think Terence Crawford, probably Spence, Loma, and I don't know. I don't know who my last one would be.
Tyson Fury, maybe?
I'm gonna go with those 4.
One of the heavyweights, Tyson Fury, maybe?
Forgot about Tyson Fury. Yeah, definitely.
And top 5 pound for pound, in your opinion, in women's.
Women's, Clarissa. Probably Michaela, Katie, and I don't know. There's not really too many top females right now, so I would probably just go with those.
And good luck with your boxing career.
Thank you.